The Democratic candidates had a lot to say in last night's 2-hour debate, but was all of it true? NBCNews.com reporter Jane Timm was fact-checking the debate last night in real time. All right, Jane, let's start with Bloomberg. His stop-and-frisk policy when he was mayor of New York City. That was a hot topic last night. Here's what he said about that and his record on crime.
If I go back and look at my time in office, the one thing that I'm really worried about, embarrassed about, was how it turned out with stop and frisk. When I got into office, there were 650 murders a year in New York City. We adopted a policy which had been in place, the policy that all big police departments use of stop and frisk. What happened, however, was it got out of control. Crime rate did go from 650, 50% down to 300. And we have to keep the lid on crime, but we cannot go out and stop people indiscriminately.
I love all the hand raising there last night. It felt like we were back in grade school. Jane, was that accurate? Did Bloomberg cut crime in half as mayor of New York City?
I mean, I have to raise my hand here, too, because he did not he did not cut crime in half. He cut the murder rate in half, and that is true. But the murder rate started falling before he got there. The murder rate started falling after he left. And I think what's really important is he's trying to say, like, look, he came in, things were bad, he used stop and frisk, and it got out of control. Like, no, this was a signature policy of Bloomberg as mayor. He expanded it like 600%. This wasn't a thing that just sort of happened without his know-how. He fought for it, and it got pulled back by a court order that said it was unconstitutional, not by his change of heart, as he seemed to suggest last night. So, while yes, the crime rate did go down in New York over that decade, 12 years that he was in office for 3 times, it wasn't because of stop and frisk. Studies have actually looked to try and see if there's a deterrent effect of stop and frisk on crime, and they're just not finding it. They say it might be a little bit, but studies can't prove it, and the crime rate kept going even after that, kept going down, even after you got rid of stop and frisk.
All right, we have another fact check on Bloomberg here. Biden attacked his stance on Obamacare. Bernie Sanders said the mayor was never in favor of raising the minimum wage. Bloomberg denying both. Let's see those moments.
The mayor said when we passed it, the signature piece of this administration, it's a disgrace. They're the exact words. It was a disgrace. Look it up. Check it out. Okay. It was a disgrace.
Maybe we can talk about a billionaire saying that we should not raise the minimum wage, or that we should cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. If that's a way to beat Donald Trump, wow, I would be very surprised.
All right, so what's the story here?
Spoiler alert, Michael Bloomberg used to be a Republican. These things are true. And he's changed his mind on some of them, and he's come in and said, you know, look, I'm a Democrat now. I have more progressive views. But a lot of his progressive views has come because he's running for president. You know, that stop and frisk when he finally disavowed it? It was like days before he ran for president. 2015 is when he said he'd never supported raising the minimum wage. For someone who says that he's had a gradual sort of move towards the Democratic Party, it's been seems a little more convenient politically. So when you look back at his record, there's definitely a Republican tint to it. Cutting Social Security. He voted for George W. Bush. He supported him at the convention. He spoke at the RNC. If he wins the nomination and speaks at the DNC, I wonder if he's the only person who would ever speak at both parties' conventions.
Oh, I hate to give you a task, but Jane, if that happens, we got to fact check that one. Okay, that'd be really good. Sorry, I know you have enough jobs already. You don't need another one from me. All right, last question here, and this one is about Amy Klobuchar and Pete Buttigieg. He accused her of supporting Trump's judges. Here's the clip.
You have been unusual among Democrats, I think the Democrat among all of the senators running for president, most likely to vote for Donald Trump's judges, who we know are especially hostile to dreamers and to the rights of immigrants.
In fact, I have opposed and not supported 2/3 of the Trump judges, so get your numbers right. And I am in the top 10 to 15 of opposing them.
All right, parse through this one for us. Who's right here?
Oof, I mean, you could just like cut the tension here.
Little tense.
You know, she's responding to a different attack when she says, get your numbers right. He didn't use any numbers. She is on that stage, the Democrat most likely to vote for a Trump judge. She voted, I think, in the last 3 years, about 33% of the time with Trump judges, whereas Sanders and Warren voted about 25% of the time, according to her campaign, who went through and checked the numbers very, very carefully. The 2/3 number, I don't know where she's bringing it from. Other attacks, I guess. Other prepared items she thought she might hit. But woof, 2 centrist Midwestern Democrats going at it.
Oh, yeah, that was some hot stuff. A lot of fireworks on stage. Jane, thanks for going through all of them for us, helping us figure out what's truth, what's fiction. We always appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.